Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here with a special edition of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Love During Lockup, Word on the Street, Clapback Edition. Let's hop right in, guys. Lots of clapbacks going on during the Love After Lockup world. My goodness, can't even keep up with all of it. So, first of all, last week, I did a video about Brittany and Andy. Brittany was spilling the tea on Twitter. She had lots to say. So, Brittany was responding to Shabuti on Twitter, and she was talking about Andy's ex-wife. Shabuti asked, why was his ex-wife spilling tea to a YouTuber blogger? And Brittany responded. She said, I know it threw me for a loop when I found out about her. I hope she can move on now that they are divorced and stop making up shit to spread bitterness around. Andy has made changes to his life to better his life, and this is the end of a bad chapter in our lives. A Twitter follower asked her, don't you remember all the awful shit that you said? You guys both deserve each other. Brittany responded, she's really spicy, Do you remember the things that were happening at that time? Do you know what I was dealing with about his wife? The fact that he got mad and tried to call the police in Alabama to get me arrested? Do you know that? No, because you only see a piece of the story. Whatever makes the entertainment more appealing for the public. I have got past all of the bullshit, and so is he. But a lot was thrown at me right out of the gate, and it is what it is. I am with my kids, and we are doing okay now. So I put a video out to drop the tea, and I thought that was the end of it. So on Tuesday, my husband and I were shopping in the Adidas store, and my husband was trying on sneakers because he's a shopaholic, even though he doesn't want to admit it. So I'm standing in the Adidas outlet, bored as fuck, and suddenly I get a notification from YouTube. So I said, oh, let me see what's going on. I had a comment on this video, and check out the comment. It was a clapback from Andy's ex-wife. She says, she did not know about any of that stuff during filming. Her actions were not based on that info. I didn't tell her until June after filming. That attitude towards him was all her. Any tea I spill ain't made up, laughing my ass off. You can't make up all the toxic foolishness this girl and Andy are involved in. Thanks for the tea. And if you're interested in spilling more tea, hit me up. My ears are wide open. Just saying. So it seems like that Brittany is trying to do some damage control because she says here, nonetheless, we have moved past all the drama from the day I got out and the following 4 days they filmed. We are happy and we are doing great. And as you can see here, Brittany's posting happy pictures of her and Andy and her and her kids, and even a picture of Andy and her son. So she posted a picture of her and Andy going out to dinner, eating at Soho's. Yummy. This is from November 7th. And someone commented, did you at least buy Andy dinner with that $500 he gave you? Laughing face. And Brittany says the $500 was show money. It was from the Love During Lockup. And no, I put it on my kids. We both did together. So the person replies, so what you're saying, it's all for cameras and you weren't actually using Andy and love him? And Brittany doesn't reply. So Brittany's saying that it was just a result of her being overwhelmed coming out of jail, 4 days of filming, and that's what we see. And everything is perfectly fine between her and Andy. Andy's ex says otherwise, that if she tries to blame her for any drama, she didn't tell her anything until June. And now what we see was her reaction towards Andy. So, I don't know, guys. Um, all I have to say is the ex-wife is clapping back. So, another video I did, my last word on the street, I put up some messages between Sheree and one of Anthony's baby mamas. From what I understand, Anthony has more than one baby mama, and Sheree messaged one of Anthony's baby mamas asking if Anthony could be involved in his son's life. And from what I understand, there's been, a history between the baby mama and Anthony. So, and she basically asked Sheree not to contact her anymore. Um, from what I understand from the message that I received from Anthony's baby mama, she hasn't been very happy from what has been going on. First, she was concerned about her identity being leaked, and I assured her if it was leaked, it was not by me. That is one thing that I'm very, very careful about when it comes to my sources and my little birdies. I do not leak identities. We had the conversation on Tuesday. She was satisfied with my answer. Everything was fine. Then I woke up this morning and I was sitting in my kitchen staring at my nicotine stained wall, thinking about how I really have to wipe that down because my son is coming home from college soon for Thanksgiving. And I was thinking about the pile of clothes in my bedroom that I really had to sort through because I needed to get to the Christmas decorations behind it. And I took my phone off of sleep notification and I realized that my Facebook Messenger had 14 messages. And I said, holy shit, what the hell is going on? And one of the 14 messages was this one. And it was a clapback. And I had to make sure that I wasn't delusional due to all the pot that I smoke. I had to splash some water on my face, blink twice, and make sure that I was reading what I was reading. So I messaged her back and let her know that my budget was zero. But if she wanted to sit down and give me an interview, my ears are wide open and I am willing to hear her story. So this is a clapback from one of Anthony's baby mamas due to a clapback video apparently that's out there. I haven't seen it yet. I need to find it and see what that's all about. But yeah. So this was the second clapback that I got this week. Interesting. Whew. Okay. Now moving on. I got to interview Mike yesterday, and I was so happy to interview him. Mike has really, really stolen my heart this season. I did not think that I was going to fall in love with this guy, but I'm telling you, Mike has really stolen my heart this season. So I asked Mike what was two things that he loved most about Chelsea and two things that annoyed the fuck out of him about Chelsea. Listen to his answer. Hang on a sec.
A lot of things, and I grew up and I matured, and people can't change. So, And if anyone's curious about finding love with someone who's incarcerated, there is a lot of good people who's incarcerated, so that's something that is an option, And look at me, I ended up on TV from it. So
Do you
all,
have advice for somebody that's in a relationship with someone that's incarcerated?
yes, if someone's in a relationship with someone incarcerated, be patient, because it's hard while you're incarcerated. And like whenever you're in there, you're constantly thinking like what's going on in the streets and stuff. So if a person's like, always like questioning what you're doing, it's just because they have a lot of time to think, and they're constantly wondering about what's going on the streets. So just be patient with the person that you're dealing with. I'm sure that it'll all pan out in the end. And I know it's hard, but to stick with it, and keep pushing.
Mike, let me ask you. So, name two things now that you love the most about Chelsea, and two things that I'm annoyed the fuck out of you about.
Two things that I love about Chelsea. I love her affectionate side where she's deaf. There's a lot of physical, like body language and stuff. I love that about her. I love her cooking. She can cook like no other. Like her
Oh,
meat.
really? Okay.
Yeah, her meatloaf's awesome. Two things that I'd say I didn't like is sometimes her short temperament. Her, the way she like can fly off the hinges in a hot second. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
hot temper. Okay.
if I would have to say another thing, it would be let's see here. Honestly, I'm trying to think. Like this is actually a hard one. Uh, honestly, I can't even think of another one.
Okay,
Like,
so just her hot temper. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
And
she moves pretty fast.
and what?
Yeah, I got one. I hate how she drives and signs at the same time.
Oh my goodness, she gives me a heart attack driving and signing. So there we go. Her hot temper and the way she drives and signs at the same time. Which, yeah, I would scream at the TV when she does that. So, Mike coming on, interviewing with me inadvertently, okay, set off another clapback. You know how Chelsea is always talking about her abusive exes, in particular, this one ex that overdosed in her home and was abusive to her, domestic violence, everything else. Well, his sister, after watching Mike's interview, decided that she wasn't going to take it anymore, and she wanted to pass along a message to Mike. And she wanted to tell her story and her brother's story. So Stephanie, Rocky's sister, decided to speak out. And I just want to share a little bit of what she had to say. And please check out her full interview. It is so moving. It'll it'll make you cry, guys. Okay. So this is Stephanie's clap back to Chelsea and her heartfelt message to Mike.
Boy, so I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. I feel for this guy because watch out, just please be careful. Please, I know everything is not what it seems like. And I'm only speaking on facts. I'm not speaking on speculation. I wouldn't speak upon anything that I didn't think was sure, if I was sure about. But I do want to iterate that I do know that Chelsea was raped. I do know that it was through it was a night that they had, she got drunk, whatever happened, she was raped. I was never under the impression that she had a boyfriend that continuously raped her, as she said in one of her clips.
So Stephanie talked about a lot of things that Chelsea brought up. And please check out her interview, because after Stephanie's interview, I spoke to another person that knows Chelsea very well as well. And she basically validated a lot of things that Stephanie said. So, it just basically validates, clarifies everything that I've been saying for the past year due to the sources that I've been speaking to. And Stephanie was one of my sources, that Chelsea is not what she appears on TV. And she is not the victim that she portrays herself to be. This person that I spoke to today basically says everything that Stephanie said in her video is true. And Chelsea and Rocky were partners in crime. So please check out Stephanie's interview, and you'll see exactly what I mean. So now, for another clap back, I told you guys this word on the street is full of clapbacks. Okay, we all know Chance is a douchebag. Chance left Taylor for a 24-year-old chick, okay? For a 24-year-old chick named Alyssa, basically. Now, Alyssa left Chance, okay? She was with this dude named Charles. And Charles is heartbroken. Okay, Charles really loves her. Okay, so Charles is sick and tired of Alyssa dragging his name through the mud and saying that he was abusive and all this other shit. When it comes down to that, Alyssa's a fan, allegedly a big fan of the show, and slid into Chance's DMs. Okay, so Charles decided to take to Facebook today and make this grand announcement. Alyssa Moore, I don't know why you keep fucking with me. It's your own fault. You're not happy regardless of your fakeness on social media and back to a life you have fought so hard to get out of. Your choices, not mine. So just move on, stop lying, and leave me the fuck alone respectively. I would appreciate it. I haven't bothered you whatsoever. I have actually only showed you love since you walked out for another. And I'm sorry for posting this in advance. But you just aren't leaving me alone. And I seriously don't get it. If you wanted me in your life, you shouldn't have walked out. So please stop with me or not. I do love you. I'm posting this because of what you say in the clip. No other reason. P.S. If you ever need me, you got my number. Never want to see you struggle, but you do have to learn. No comments or emojis. Please, I appreciate it. So from what I understand, this guy is still helping Alyssa financially by paying her bills, her credit cards, allegedly, etc., etc. So, yeah. So then, with this post, he posted this video, and I'm gonna share it with you guys because I really thought that there was something in my pot. I was like, what the heck is going on? This is like way too many clapbacks, way too much tea. The tea is way too hot. Like, I don't know. Okay, let me share this with you guys. Like, whoa. Like, Chance. What the heck?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
What the heck is going on? She is not in good condition. And all I have to say is if this is what she looks like without a filter, and that's what she looks like with a filter, whoa. Like Mandy 2.0. Okay. When the Molly hits. That's all I have to say. When the Molly hits, when the meth hits, I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm going to stick to my pot. Any day, I will stick to my pot. Whew. Okay. So now, I want to thank my little birdie, my follower, Laura, for sending this to me. This circled here on the right is Key Rock before he transitioned. Thank you so much, Laura, for sending this to me. I appreciate all my birdies, all my sources. So thank you so much. Now, do you guys remember Curtis, who was knocked out by Kevin when he went to go pick up Tiffany? You know, Curtis hasn't had any luck since he was knocked out by Kevin on national TV. I mean, anyone that gets knocked out by somebody who's 5'2", basically my height, because I'm like 4'11", Kevin and I could see like eye to eye. So anybody that gets knocked out by somebody that I could like stare down, yeah, okay. So last year, Curtis was robbed by his roommate, and he was having problems with his ankle monitor. So he was having all sorts of issues. Brianna and I interviewed him, and he was lying his ass off. And Brianna was catching him in all his lies. It was really funny. If you haven't checked out that interview, that's actually a highly amusing interview, because he was like talking in circles, and Brianna went into reporter mode, and she was catching him in his lies left and right. And I just sat there smoking my pot, watching it, laughing my ass off. So it was highly amusing. If you haven't checked that out, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Now, today, Curtis posted this on Facebook. Seems like he has found himself in another pickle. He was arrested about a month or two ago for possession of THC, which really fucking sucks, because if that was the case in New York, I would be screwed. But apparently, while he was in jail, some people stole his truck and his camper. So now, listen to Curtis's story. Got the whole story from this guy who is clearly wearing all my stuff, selling my shoes, and towing my camper on TikTok. Imagine this shit. But he is going to tell me it was all Ryan and Jordan. So when someone was using my phone, looking for anyone to co-sign for my bond, they were letting the wrong person know I wasn't able to stop a robbery from happening. I don't hang around these types of people. I've known Jordan Neiman since elementary school. So when she called asking for a place to hang out for the day, I allowed it. She has 2 dogs. I have a soft spot. She was the only person who knew where my camper was parked. And for the record, I was arrested for possession for under a gram of THC oil. Yes, an empty vape in my console. I don't hang around these people. I've done what I need to do as far as reporting it stolen, but it doesn't change the situation they put me in. Homeless. And thanks to Haley Renee for giving Jordan the news I was in jail and then taking off in my truck. I'm officially at rock bottom. She wasn't trying to help bond me out. She wanted to make sure no one bonded me out, so she had transportation while I sat in jail with $100 bond. Shaking my head. I need help recovering these 2 major things in my life. If you see the camper or my truck, contact police immediately. Wow, Curtis, wow. So now we see messages between Curtis and someone by the name of Leon. Curtis is in blue, Leon is in gray. So basically, Curtis is confronting Leon about stealing his truck and his camper. And he tells Leon that he has the title in his name, and why would he give away a camper that he just bought in June for $5,000? So basically, he says he was in jail for a weed vape for 30 days. Either way, It's his camper. You guys stole it, and fuck you. So these messages are going back and forth. And, it's a fucked up situation, Curtis. And you seem to find yourself in a lot of fucked up situations. And apparently, they're selling knockoff sneakers for $7,500 out of his camper on Facebook. And apparently, this is another person involved. And this is the girl that he went to elementary school with, and he has a soft spot for her and her dogs. Curtis, Curtis, Curtis. And don't forget, guys, it's Throwback Thursday. Lisa has lots to say, 48 hours out of jail, and Lacey and Antoine will provide us with an update. Happy birthday to Quaylon. And before we go, Heather wants to know, has anyone heard of the novel, The Untethered Soul? I have, Heather, but I don't know if you could wrap your mind around it. Just saying. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching me. Tomorrow's Felon Friday. Can't wait. And let's see what happens. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit the like button. Share my video with a friend or 10. And please consider joining my membership. There should be a join button up in my banner somewhere and in my description box. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.